Hey guys, what's up? This is Cypher29. So I'm back again with my second of three unboxings. So right here we have the Xbox One Elite wireless controller. This controller is valued at $149.99 and you can pick this up anywhere. And this controller was first revealed at E3 back in June of this year. And this controller is considered to be the ultimate controller designed for gamers, and it's supposed to be a fully customizable remote that you can suit to your own needs. And so I'll show you guys what we got here. So on the front, of course, we got a picture of the controller, and then on the side of it is all the accessories that come inside of it. So you have the Xbox One Elite wireless controller itself. You have two interchangeable D-pads, one that is saucer-like and another which is the standard 4-point D-pad. Then you have three sets of interchangeable thumbsticks. You have the traditional small size ones. You have the longer thumbsticks, and then you have thumbsticks that have a dome tip. And then there are two sets of paddles. One pair of short paddles and one pair of long paddles. And then it also comes with a carrying case that you can carry the remote along with its accessories and stuff with, two AA batteries and a USB cable. On the back of the controller, there is the front and the back of the controller along with more information. And then on the left, just the side of the controller from the back. So let's go on ahead and open it up. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice is you got this carrying case here. Now this carrying case is what carries the controller as well as the accessories, and this is a nice item to have whenever you're on the go, if you're visiting a friend's house or if you're heading off to a tournament and you want to take this controller with you. It's a nice item to carry it in, and plus the material is very nice because it's nice and sturdy, so it should be able to withstand a lot of punishment, even though of course don't drop it on the ground to test that, because seriously, don't do that because bad things happen to good people. And inside of the box here there's a quick setup guide which explains which comes with just simplistic instructions on what's inside and how to use it, if you feel like looking through that. And then in addition to the controller itself, it also includes a Xbox accessories app that you download for free from the Xbox Live Marketplace. Now, the Xbox accessories app is an app that you use on the Xbox One whenever you want to customize the controller for whatever inputs or for whatever button inputs that you wish to use. But I'll get more into that a little later in the unboxing. So that comes with that, along with the quick setup guide. And then put this back right here. Oh, sorry. Set that off to the side. So let's go on ahead and open up the case. All right. So inside we have the Xbox One Elite wireless controller, and it looks very awesome. Now, one thing that you'll probably notice is that unlike other controllers, the Xbox One Elite wireless controller, both in terms of the box itself and even the controller itself, is much heavier. And the reason for this extra weight is because the Elite controller is made with reinforced steel metallic parts, which are supposed to be more durable than their other counterparts, and is supposed to reduce, if not eliminate, the fact of wear and tear. Because to be paying $150 for something like this, you will want to get as much mileage as you can out of this controller. So as you can see here, it already has the two short thumbsticks attached to it and the saucer D-pad. Now, one thing to make note of, whether it's regarding the D-pad, the thumbsticks, or even the paddles as you see here in the case, but I'll put those on in a minute, is that all of these parts connect magnetically. So you just simply put it on like so, and it attaches very easy. So you shouldn't have to worry about any pieces falling off or getting loose while you're playing. And just so you know, in the case of the D-pad, with the saucer D-pad, it has like that regular D-pad formation, which explains how it's I'm sorry, how it's able to connect to the console. So the purpose of this saucer-like D-pad, to the controller, the purpose of this saucer-like D-pad is so that when you're playing games like fighting games, like say Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, or whatever, sometimes it's a little hard to execute certain combos using the 4-point D-pad, even though the analog sticks do make up for it. But this D-pad was designed in mind so that it can be able to move in those different directions to help you execute those combos quicker. Like for instance, if you was doing like say you were playing Street Fighter and then you wanted to do like a Metsu Shoryuken, and it's like a quarter turn kick and all that. And so this, with its unique multi-directional design, it would help in executing those combos much easier. So very nice. And like I said before, if you prefer a more traditional D-pad, then of course you can take that off, and then you could take the standard 4-point one and attach it on to here like so. Easy as 1, 2, 3. So that's very good. Oh, tried to get away from me, but I wasn't gonna let it leave. Not a chance. So, next up, we have the thumbsticks, of course. Now, as I said before, there are 3 types of thumbsticks. So you got the traditional small-sized ones. And then inside of here, we have the long thumbsticks, which look like this, but I'll attach them onto the controller just so you guys can get a good idea. So these thumbsticks, I would say, it's very interesting because I've never played with a controller that has such thumbsticks. I'm guessing that these may be ideal for racing or any other kind of games that you may play that you may get a unique use out of them. And I think it may be a nice try. I haven't fully experimented with this controller yet, but I am looking forward to giving it a try and to see how it works out. But it's always nice to have something different. So put those right there. And then finally, in terms of the thumbsticks, you have the domed thumbsticks. Now, the domed thumbsticks, I guess, are supposed to be another kind of alternative in terms of comfort when you're playing, because if you've noticed, with the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One wireless controllers, the thumbsticks all have like a concave sort of like center part. But for those who may probably feel that that the dome tips would be of good comfort, then that's a nice alternative. Even though, of course, they're not quite like the thumbsticks on a PlayStation 3 or 4 DualShock controller, but still, it's a nice alternative to have if you like that. And like I said, these are the parts to where you connect the thumbsticks to. They're made from a nice piece of reinforced steel, so that's good for to prevent wear and tear. And so before I get into the paddles, now with the Xbox One accessories app, where you will customize the controller, you're basically able to choose whatever inputs that you want for the controller, and there are so many that you can choose from, because you can make the A, B, X, Y buttons function as any other kinds of buttons, or even the bumper or the D-pad buttons, because there are over 200 plus combinations, and you can make whatever inputs that you like. But note that the controller can only have 2 at a time. So the reason why the controller has this number 1 and 2 on here. I don't know how well you guys can see that. There we go. Yeah, now that is for which input that you may want to save onto the controller. So if you have, like, say you're playing Halo, and if you're using one set of controls when driving, or using a vehicle, and then another when you're on the ground, you can configure one set of controls to be for when you're on the ground, and then when you get back on solid ground, then you can just flip the switch over to number 2 to switch over to your second configuration, if that's what you want to do. And the possibilities are endless, so it's always good to experiment with this nice controller. Now, moving on, there are 2 other features that I have yet to show you guys with the controller. and that is the paddles. Now the paddles are like these 4 additional buttons, that's similar to any other button on the controller. You can program it to do whatever it is that you want it to do. You can have it function as like an A button, a B button, an X button, a Y button, which whatever it is that works for you. And so similar to the thumbsticks and the D-pad, you're able to attach these different paddles magnetically. So they attach on like so. So what you do is you would insert them from a 90-degree angle, and then they would connect. And you can use as many or as few paddles as you like, depending on your play style. Oh, yeah, sorry, gotta switch them around there. There we go. So if you do decide to use them, you can have the paddles in a long to short formation, or if you want to mix it up. Now this is where it gets interesting. Take these off. Let's see. Now you can also switch them up by attaching them in here like that. Yeah, I apologize if the filming may seem a little wonky, because you know I'm doing this with my iPhone and it's by one hand. Okay, almost done. All right, and this is like the long to short formation. So the paddles, you can program them to be like any other button. So if you're playing a shooter, and if you can imagine the difficulty of trying to shoot or aim while jumping, the paddle buttons can be good for, because you can program it to function as a jump button, but also use it, and then you can also use your other buttons to help in executing your kills. So this is good for improving your dexterity, which is very nice. And then finally, the last feature of the Xbox One Elite wireless controller is the hair trigger locks right here, which are these green switches. Now, the purpose of the hair trigger locks is that when they are activated or when they're turned on, it doesn't require that you push the trigger the full length in order to have the button respond. So for instance, both of the hair triggers are in their off position, and as you notice, the controller would have the trigger button would have to be pushed the full length in order for it to work. Now, let's say if you turn the trigger on, so you just simply flip the switch down like so. Now note that minimal pressure, the trigger isn't going down all the way, but this much pressure is only what's needed to help in pressing the button. And so the purpose of these hair trigger locks is that they're designed to help you aim as well as shoot faster, which is always good. Because sometimes I know when you're playing a shooter like Call of Duty, Titanfall, or whatever, sometimes you may have missed out on getting that kill and you got took out because you didn't aim fast enough or because you couldn't get your shot off quicker. Well, hopefully this feature is designed to remedy that. So that's very nice. And last but not least, we have this USB cord. Now, unlike other USB cords included with Xbox One products, where, say, like with the stereo headset or with the rechargeable battery pack where the cord was short, this is actually a long cord. I don't know exactly how long it is, but it can definitely make a great length from when you're plugging it into the controller as well as into the console itself, and the cord is braided, which definitely helps with its durability. And I really like the fact that Microsoft knew that for the cost of this controller that they would include items that would be built to last. So I have big ups and much respect to them on that. And so all in all, this is all what's inside of the Elite wireless controller, and so And so I'm sure you might ask, is it worth getting? Now, this is my answer to you. If you are a hardcore gamer, or if you just play gaming a lot, then I would say by all means get it if you can afford it. But if you are a moderate gamer, or if you very seldomly touch your Xbox, then I would not recommend it, especially if with all these features that they may seem to be a little complicated for some. But I would say to any serious gamer who loves to add something like this to their collection, it's definitely a must-have item. And so all in all, that was my unboxing of the Xbox One Elite Wireless Controller, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed that. So stay tuned for my last unboxing video, which will be for the Halo 5 Guardians Collector's Edition Strategy Guide. So make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. Peace out, you guys.